Hi, welcome to Pick a Pile for What's the Vibe this weekend. Pile 1, a clear point quartz. Pile 2, the elk in the obsidian. Pile 3 is the purple amethyst in the triangle. 1, 2 or 3. So I'll pause the video and we'll see which one you choose. Hi, welcome to Pile 1. So, remember that if it doesn't resonate, that's absolutely fine. And if it does, that's also fine. But this is for self-help and how we can empower ourselves. So, it could happen, it could not happen. Right, so, using this particular deck. So, the top row are tarot and the bottom 2 are oracle cards. So this one is the Nine of Winter. You can see in this card perhaps that the people, little fairies, are in their little cave, all nice, snug and warm, and around them is winter. So it's almost like going inside and realising, oh, I don't want to go outside because it's cold. And this is how our mindset sometimes thinks about over worry and over concern about something that might not be happening. So it's very important to really go on a different level. Maybe you use our intuition, or just wake up in the morning and see that things are all right. It's very much about waking up from a nightmare, and when we're in the nightmare it's really scary, but when we wake up and reflect back on it, we think, that wasn't so bad, why was I scared? This is exactly the same situation. You're scaring yourself with your mind and how you feel about it than the actual truth. Okay? So now we have the Ten of Winter. So the Ten of Winter is a time where, yeah, you do feel trapped. So the Nine of Winter is about over-worrying. The Ten of Winter is, let's have a look at things differently. So you have been in a circumstance, and that's probably why all that worry and concern was there. But the Ten of Winter is all about, yes, being hurt, yes, being trapped, but it's ended. And the beginning of brightness and inspiration will come to you if you just look. So instead of thinking, oh my goodness, what am I going to do, it's all about, yeah, I'm just going to get to it. Yeah, you know, I'm responsible for my own life, and now I can see a way quite clearly that, you know, it's been difficult, but I'm definitely going to get out of it. So you can see here that the badger is trying to get to the little fairy, but he knows that the little guy knows how to run away and get away from badger. Okay, so if you look at your situation in a different way, sometimes it can be very positive, because if you do rely on your higher self now, then that is better than going in the mind and scaring yourself even more than need be. So let's move on. So we use a different tarot deck now, and you have the Fire Alpha Dog. So this is really good. This is all about the King of Fire. So you'll be able to really know that you can put into action what you really do want. It's almost like, okay, mind, stop playing tricks on me. I know how to get out of this. I've done this many times before. You've got your responsibility of yourself, and you can put into action exactly what you do want, and know and understand that that is so. So you find yourself very resourceful if you utilize this fire energy. So it's all about being proactive. So perhaps, you know, don't overthink things and just go things with your heart and what you know to be correct. Okay? So what else? So Two of Earth. So if you find now that balance is needed, and indeed it is sometimes, when we feel like we have to learn to achieve balance, and if there's imbalance, then this is one of the things we might have felt that was a bit of a trap. So doing too much at once, perhaps feeling a bit out of sorts, that you were given too much, or just a situation where it is definitely out of balance, you know, like the mind and the heart, and also, you know, like it's not equal to what you've put in. So one has to realise, to be in charge of yourself, do I let this go or do I continue? Yeah. So that's interesting, isn't it? So, Ten of Sky again. Ten of Sky is exactly the same as Ten of Winter. It's the air. So you really have got it quite hard, guys. So you may feel like you're still trapped and being, you know, like the universe is just not playing game or fair. So really have a look as the King of Fire and find the responsibility of, okay, enough is enough. What can I do to get myself out of this? It is, if you put things into a balance, a perspective about, okay, I can achieve my goals and my dreams, and I can get myself out of difficulty because I've done it before. I'm pretty sure you've done things before to get out of a situation. If you feel cornered and there's nowhere to go, just remember you do have that strength of character to be able to do it, because you are the King of Fire. So use that energy and kind of power that you have to get out of this situation. Being overturned, overbalanced, overworked, you feel like you can't achieve your goal. That is perhaps one of those fears, but yeah, you can. You just got to look at things in a different way and just kind of get out of it. So, right, helpful person. Someone wants to help you, yay! Think of whom that might be and initiate contact. So if you are feeling particular, oh my goodness, I can't get out of this situation, there is help at hand, even if it means that emotional support that you might need at this time. So who can you rely on? Who can you relate to? Nobody should feel alone. There are enough helplines around as well, but I'm pretty sure in your circle of who you know, there's at least one person that you can say, look, I'm really feeling X, Y, and Z, and can you just help a little bit? You know, because generally people don't turn away a genuine concern for help. Okay, so do find that helpful person, whoever it might be. And the last card, right, so this is the chakra card for yourself, and this is the third eye. So maybe instead of overthinking things and not really knowing how to get out of it, use your intuition, use your higher knowledge and higher intuition, really, your soul purpose, your soul journey. If we sit in meditation, sit in the space and the stillness, we'll find our answers, especially if you ask. You can also do a lot of prayer, you know, to the divine, and your self will know how what's going to happen next. So it's always good to get in touch with your spirit guide to help you get in touch with your intuition. This is a good way of knowing, and then you'll just have like hindsight. Oh, I remember that weekend I really struggled. You know, I got out of it quite easily. So kind of look at it like that, looking back at your situation now to use that understanding of your higher self. So it is troubling times for a lot of people these days, but looking at it like it gives you a window of opportunity to grow as a person. Okay, things don't last forever, things are always changing, and that's the nature of being down here. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you again soon. Have a wonderful weekend, please. Hi, welcome to pile 2 if you chose the obsidian with the elk in it. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Remember, guys, that this isn't going to resonate with everyone, but if it does, I wish you well. Oh, right, okay. So this is the King of Spring. So you have the energy of the King of Spring. So responsibility about being your own leader and knowing that you can put into action what you really do want. This is about you being in charge and just doing things that have to be done. So this might mean a lot of things. It might just mean that you're really intending to, you know, rule with an iron hand kind of thing and get things really into, you know, action. Action is one of these things that you have to do. So, well, you don't have to, but as a ruler, it's always good to do so. So this male energy that's going around is a really good one for really achieving your goal. It's about being proactive in it. So we'll relate to that in a minute. So we have the Five of Winter. The Five of Winter is about the Five of Swords, which is always a little bit of anger going on and also a bit of conflict. So remember that you're responsible for your own self. So you can override this if someone's trying to cause trouble, if the situation has gone on long enough to walk away from. So really it's now time to rule yourself and rule kind of others, that if people aren't cooperating with how you want things to go, then you're the ruler, walk away. There's some ideas as well you might find that are just not sitting with you. It's just not comfortable at all. But you've got the strength of character now to realise what you do want. So understand kind of what you are doing moving forward. You don't have to stick with other people's opinions. Definitely not. Right, let's see what else is going on. So the Nine of Sky. Nine of Sky is over worry, really. So sometimes it is difficult to move away from those circumstances that no longer serve us and don't feel right in our current climate of what you're trying to achieve in your life. So over worrying that you might upset the balance, or they might upset you, or the situation is just not gelling, that's fine to do so. It's always good to be flexible in our opinions. But when we focus on the negative, that's a really not a useful tool to do. So make your mind your friend, especially after, you know, things have gone all over the place. Yeah, so don't worry about it. Don't be too concerned, but be wary, obviously. But remember, you're the King of Wands. This is a very happy person. So the personality that's inside of you, if you can reflect back to that, you're not going to worry so much. Does that make sense? Right, let's have a look. So you have the Earth puppy. So when we're a puppy, we can be very grounded and very curious about what's going on. So at the moment in this particular card, the Earth puppy is sitting by a fox. So you can relate this card a little bit to the Moon, about the two personalities that are being reflected on an emotional level. But the Earth puppy here is going for a groundedness, a practicality. So where you might be moving away from a lot of things, this is about learning about your future and how you can make it in a much richer, much more practical way. So if you do have to move in a climate that's really causing you anxiety, then think about, right, what's best for me in the long run and what's best for the people around me. It's basically about going with your soul journey, what's good for you and those around you. So sometimes we do have to cut certain people out of our life and situations. So it's learning about two sides, the wildness, but also the newness. And together, what can we learn? What can we adapt to? Okay, but it is very fortunate, this card, so don't worry too much. So, what else is going on? So we have the Fire Puppy. Oh, well, these are two very good cards after this kind of difficult time with the mindset. As this shows that you can grow as a person. It shows that you can now go out when it's a little bit dark and light your own way. If it's almost like the whole circle, the newness of life, and then, yeah, I've matured into a real great person. But it means as a ruler, as a person of understanding a lot of things, you can now see in a new way. So you can see now that these things that have been hurtful, painful, have been there for a reason, just to open up a box of wonderment to see what you can create with that little flame, that little spark. So it's good now that you've learned this kind of achievement. So these energies might go on or for the rest of the year, whatever, but you know, start something special, if that makes sense. So let's have a look at your oracle card. Have faith. Your prayers are manifesting. Remain positive and follow your guidance. So having faith is a great aspect, especially when you're over worried. So it says there, doesn't it, remain positive. So don't fall in the trap of being negative or concerned or have that anxiety. All right. And the last card for you guys is dreams. And that's messages, signs, symbols and guidance. So when we have a dream, so not a nightmare, a dream, it's always good to manifest it, which that's going on about. That was about that was messages. Yeah, so when we have a dream, we want to manifest that, but we also want to have a look perhaps in dreams, in the dream state, which is to do with your astral and emotions of the signs. Some people interpret dreams one way and another way, but it's all down to yourself how you interpret them in the long run, because they're your dreams. You understand you more than you actually know. So having this dream state is an indication of what's going on. So you are going to be at a very nice new age of learning, but you're also got that wisdom behind it. So you're in a great stage actually. So I hope you enjoy your weekend and hope that's made a little bit of sense. And we'll see you next time. Lots of love to you all. Hi, welcome to pile 3. So if you've picked the pyramid with the amethyst in, this is your reading. So hopefully it resonates with some of you, or if not all of you. Yeah, so here we go for the vibes of the weekend. Let's see what's going on. Oh, 4 of spring. So it looks like everything's going on okay. There is room for celebration and really having that gratitude towards your life in general. It's time to celebrate what you have achieved, and even though we might be in another lockdown and all those sort of world events, you've still got things to celebrate. So kind of bless where you are in life, and if you don't feel like that, that's fine, but the gratitude and the appreciation of who you are and where you've come and who you've got around you perhaps will make the understanding that this energy will attract that greater knowledge, that greater ability to go into that 10 of Cups scenario, which is all about that heart. Okay, so you've got the Herald of Spring. So this is a great time to take action towards your goals. If you really do feel in an appreciative gratitude way, that'll set off the energy in the right direction to take action towards your new goals, or just taking place further about achieving the end result of what you're trying to achieve on the long run. So for some of you, that's probably the new romance or deepening a romance, and others it might be finding a job, career and all sorts of things. But taking action you must kind of do, because without taking action we'll still be in this good stable state, but you know, 4 needs more fire. So this is why it's important to keep going, keep achieving. All right, so moving on. A sea poppy. Oh, so this is the poppy of the sea, which is like the Page of Cups. So this is an understanding that it's an innocence of looking into your life, into your heart, and how that is being developed. So some of you will be going to really feel with passion. So it's almost learning about relationships, love, self-love, and how that can manifest to a greater understanding of who you are and your soul purpose. So take action into celebrating, maybe socializing, just going to events. I know it's probably not the best time, but it is doing the kind of empathy and the communication with all friends and family that's very, very important. So hopefully over the weekend and the coming weeks, you'll be able to learn how to adapt to your situation to make it better for you. It's okay now, but it could be 10 million times better when you tap into the learning of your heart. So when you see the little puppy playing in the little pools, they've got to learn what's nipping at them and what's good to eat, what's not good to eat, and what's good to play with, and let's leave that alone, okay? So, Six of Sea. This is another great time to experiment. So for you, it's all about being nostalgic about how things have been in the past, putting the fun back into life, and you kind of know what to do, or can do, but this is emotional. Sometimes it's a look at exes, sometimes it's about looking at family and how it was nice way back then. But we need to have a little bit more solidness. Take action to where you are going on a more realistic goal. Self-love is always involved about this card. Learn to love yourself as a responsible grown-up and not just play around and muck around all the time. It's okay to do that some of the time, but being idealistic about relationships that are not based on fact is very kind of a puppy stage. So we need that to be more of a King of Cups instead of a Child of Cups, okay? So yeah, so it's looking at a more mature attitude towards the heart and understanding about a firm, solid relationship, okay? So you have the Ace of Fire. This is a really good card, especially if you are going towards relationships. This is putting the spark back into creation itself. Everything starts with one small step. Everything of energy starts from a little tiny wee spark, and it builds a big, big fire. So this is about starting. Also, with the Ace of Fire, it can be quite a sexual card as well. So if you are going to have a fun time this weekend, that's great. Why not? So put the spark back into your life and really enjoy yourself. Oh, why not? So that's really good. And your oracle cards is contemplation time. So spend time alone meditating upon what you truly desire. That's important when you reflect back on the Six of Water. So this is like a nostalgic look, but this is more about what you want as a grown-up. So yeah, you want some of that, but not if it's idealistic or in a fantasy world. We need to make it more solid, more grounded, and more, you know, just real, so we can have that little celebration. Your last oracle card, which is your chakra, is your sacral chakra. So normally with this, they'll have other meanings and more words in it, but this one's just the sacral chakra, so it will contain everything that is going on. What is going on is sexual pleasure. So that's a little bit like that. So, you know, having that pleasure is always good. So have fun this weekend if you like. But come from a point of understanding where, you know, realizing that pleasure is what makes us human. It's not a sin. All pleasure is good, if we take it on in responsibilities as well. So that's quite fun, isn't it? So start seeing that you can have grown-up relationships, real. That will be more beneficial on the longer term, and learn kind of things to have that emotional experiences, but a love experience, not just a pleasurable experience, but a loving, a more nurturing, more loving, giving, unconditional love. Does that make sense? So you enjoy your weekend. I think that was the best pile. Well done for picking that. Okay, so we'll see you next time. Lots of love to you all.